So we're having an issue with connecting to online with the Modern Warfare, which this should have been actually up and running. And we don't know if somebody forgot to flip the switch to make it active online. There's been, we think the game's been released to other countries before we got a chance to do it, because we've seen several different countries access online for Modern Warfare before we got a chance to. This just went live not too long ago, and what's up, Snowflake? And it become an issue right now. As you see, every time I click it, it has a failure to connect to online services. And Man Marine's been sitting around for months waiting to team up to do campaign mode. When the beta was released, campaign was not released with the game. They would not let you do anything with campaign, not even a demo. And I think that was good, because the campaign mode's supposed to be really long. And this is what we keep getting. So I'm gonna have to wait it out. I mean, I can keep my stream running. The only other way to do the campaign mode if I go offline. Infinity Ward, you have a lot of people looking forward to this game. You need to get somebody in there to flip the switch and put the servers online, please. Or you're gonna have a lot of people mad at your company. Well, actually, it ain't Infinity Ward, it's Activision. And it's been before where they had an issue with I'll talk to you later about that, Snowflake. I'm not going to do that in my stream. It's been interesting now. Activision has, like, with their games, demanding more money for different things and different things they're putting into the game, but yet for a $1 billion company hasn't got their servers up. And a lot of people spend a lot of money on this and they want to play. So I think you need to get your servers up. And I'm not wanting to wait till midnight to play a game that's already out. I appreciate it. Like I said, I get all Call of Duty games. Marine, unfortunately, I couldn't afford this one. Marine got it for me. So, I definitely give him props. Okay, for House of Freak members, listen up. I got something specially for this. I decided today to do a 2 males, 2 females player of the month. Well, MVPs of the month. Marine had nothing to do with this. He did one, what was it, about 2 days ago, Marine? And I nominated. So I would not tell Marine who my chosen people, so Marine's not involved with this, who my chosen ones that were most, well, mine's going to be MIP, most important person. And it's going to be 2 females and 2 males. I'll start with the males. One of my guys just recently joined the crew, and he's been pretty good support with me in that. And I will give it to BMX. Okay. The second person has been a big supporter on me for the longest period of time, and he's personal to me, and that's Marine. He's done so much for me and my family, and he's done so much for the group. So Marine becomes my first MVP, MIP of the month, and BMX is my MIP. No offense to anybody else in the crew or anything, we'll have this every month. For the females, I'm going to give it to Cherokee, which is Jasmine. And she gave her comments in the background, but it took her a while to talk to me, and that, which I understand that. So I'll give it to Jasmine. The other person deals with me every day of the week, and we've been through a lot today, and that you probably hear her hollering in the background. Anyway, it's Sassy 7, my own wife. I'm gonna make her the other MIP. These 4 were selected through the whole group for October. They dealt with Sassy and Marines dealt with more shit with me than that. On the male side, I'd definitely say Marine, because he's been in a big support of me. And when I wanted to leave the House of Freaks and turn it down, he wouldn't let me. World of respect to him and his family. So, there's my MIPs of the month. We'll see how next month works out, and I'll have 2 new MIPs. But I think Marine definitely deserves it for this month. Okay, so, Sassy does too. I've had a pretty weird day. I'm going to say it's been kind of horrifying. But with me, it's like a normal day just about. And it's not a good day. But I'm not going to let that affect my stream as soon as I get this thing going on. Hopefully it starts soon. I don't know what it's doing. It's like it's trying to connect, but nothing came up. So it's just like in the middle of connecting or whatever. I'm not going into multiplayer. I'm wanting to do campaign. That's all I'm wanting to do. So, I don't know who else is watching my stream right now, but can you type in there who else is watching the stream? Because I see 2 people viewing. No, it's not. No snowflakes, hold on. We had this problem with another game that came out of, matter of fact, it was Modern Warfare 2. Alright, Snowflake, that ain't funny. Come on now, you're putting that stuff in my stream. Hello, Rip. So there was 2 male, since you're just joining, there was 2 males. I know what it is, it's the Freak song. There was 2 males picked for most important people for the month. So it's MIP. The two males that got it was Marine and BMX. It's the same as MVP. The 2 females got it was Jasmine and Sassy. So everybody else will get a chance to get a chance to be MIP next month, which is most important person for the month. And we'll see how that works out. But I actually have to say Marine deserved it, because he come up with these rewards the other day, and he voted me in, and that was really major respect. And the people in the crew just like come out of the woodwork and voted me in. Everybody in this crew is important to me, and I thank my crew very much for dealing with my crazy ass. I'm not hard to deal. I'm not that easy to deal with at times. I'm stubborn, I'm mean sometimes, Sometimes the mean don't even know it and they let me know. So that's people who care about you. I'm going to give a shout out to my mom because she wants to watch my stream. And I'm going to give a shout out to my sister. I hope she was well. She had a heart attack. Lord, crazy girl. So I hope everybody's day's been better than mine, because mine's been pretty rough. Marine's in the chat room right now with me trying to get online just like I am, and we're planning to do this game, but during that stream it ain't gonna be, I'm looking forward to playing with Captain Price. He makes a return, and that's one of my heroes off the Modern Warfare series, because that man's been through a world of shit. There's going to be probably parts in Modern Warfare's campaign mode that nobody's going to like. And there's going to be decisions that you have to make, and hopefully I don't make the wrong one. It could be a point where you think a person's grabbing a gun and they grab a kid and you end up killing them. That happens in the real military, where accidents happen like that. But when you're rolling in on a group of terrorists, you don't know what you're facing. When you're in that situation, it's a scary situation. And it's no taking it back when you kill somebody when you're doing your job. For all of our men and women out there defending this country from all branches of the military to police officers, firefighters, and everything else, I'd like to tell you thank you. Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have the freedom I have. For the ones who think the United States is a bad place, well, you don't have to live in it. So, what the Call of Duty series is about, now we're not going to talk about Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3, but the stories to them are based off of stuff that existed in the past. Most of the Call of Duty games, they go on research and finding out, like for instance Taliban, how things went down, and they talk to the actual soldiers that been there, done that, and then they get permission to add it to the game, and they give you the story of that soldier, and they play it with a different character to protect that soldier so nobody knows who he is, because they don't want to be known. And we have to go into the fact of, when we look at this, what these men and women go through when they defend their country. Alright? And I'm going to say something about Marine. He was a Marine sniper. That's my hero outside this game. I look up to him. I admire him. I'm older than him. I'm his uncle in real life. But, yeah, well, what I mean in real life is outside the game. But he put a uniform on to keep people like me from terrorists attacking me. So I give Marine the world of respect for what he did. He's a great person and a great dad. His wife's a great mom. So, thumbs up for Marine. And that anybody out there else in the military that actually watches my stream, thank you too. I appreciate that. I admire the military. I support the military. So, hopefully we can get into the game and carry on a little bit farther than that. For all my viewers out there, thank you for viewing my stream. Give me a thumbs up if you like to. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. Give me your opinion. I don't mind your opinion. My group is the best group that I could ever, group of people that I could ever get with, men, women, and children. They're very great to talk to, and I'm very grateful for them being there for me. So, thank them. And other crew members need to do that with their crews, to take time out and tell them thanks. Come on, Empathy Ward, let me on mine. Man, Marine wants us to do this story mode. Are you there, Marine? Would you like to say anything? I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, bro, but you need the recognition because that was great what you did for this country, and a lot of people's not realizing that you joined the military to make sure crazy people like me that doesn't get attacked by some terrorist, and I admire that, and people need to know that. You don't take the credit, but you deserve the credit because you didn't have to do that. You could have went with a regular job. You got great talent. You're smart as hell. Yes, you. You don't go out getting in trouble. You don't go out hanging out with the boys, getting in bar fights and stuff like that. You don't beat on your woman. You're a great person to be hanging around with and talking to. Another person that I would like to talk about is Rip. Rip's a person that I know for 20-some years, and he's a good guy. He's got great talent. He's also one of my best friends. Instead of my night becoming a disaster, I think I made it a lot more better. Because if people went through what I went through today, they wouldn't be doing a stream. And I don't usually do a stream when I went through what I went through today. But I'm okay. I'm just blessed to be here. My wife, yeah, so do I. My wife's kind of aggravated. She was hollering in the background, "Don't start without me," because campaign mode is supposed to be co-op. From what I was seeing videos on, and I think it's going to be like the special ops mode that they added to the game, which is going to be pretty interesting. I believe it's going to be 4-player co-op, and I think it would be pretty good. Now, when you download Modern Warfare, for the ones that haven't downloaded, it comes with 6 DLCs. And it's 109 gigs. So if you get Modern Warfare, I'm telling you straight off the back, it's almost 110 gigs. So that's what you're going to have on your system. Just for this game. And you got to have more room than that, because that ain't counting the future DLCs that they're giving to you. They haven't even released DLC 1. But you get 2 survival modes, you get 2 special op modes, you get multiplayer, and you get campaign. Campaign was 38 gigs by itself. And I was thinking about Shadowkeep when I did that stream. That was almost 10 hours, and they ain't even done with that because they're going to be adding stuff to Shadowkeep. So what's basically going on with this is 38 gigs for just a campaign mode. That's a freaking big campaign. So I don't know how long campaign mode's going to last on this thing. I don't know how. It could be anywhere from 3.5 hours up to 12 hours, 15 hours. I've seen them last. It take, like, for instance, Ghost Recon Wildlands. That took me 2 weeks to do the campaign mode of that, because you had to run around doing this and run around doing that. And don't forget, if you go to play this, because Marine brought it to my attention and I had totally forgot about it. When we were talking about doing this, is collecting all, what was that called? Data sheets, Marine? That you collect, just when you're doing campaign mode, it's the papers that you find. What is that called? Alright, so don't forget, you got to collect intel to unlock special stuff in story mode. So Marine was talking to me, and we were deciding which level we were going to do this on, and at first Marine said he stream, and I was like, nah, I ain't going to do it on that, I'll do it on normal, so we can go ahead and go to the story. But then Marine brought it to my attention, maybe we ought to do this on easy so we can grab all the intel. And intel is not right out in plain sight. You actually have to look for intel. So, according to this, from what I understood, there was some information released on this by Infinity Ward that the 3 wars that this one's going to take place is in Iraq, which we already knew that from when we played the multiplayer beta because it was an Iraq cave. The second place is going to be taking on the South African guerrillas, which started the Taliban. The third one is going to be the Russians, which I don't know if this is real. That was really wise to put that in here, but it was something that we had conflicted with Russia. Russia's appeared in Modern Warfare series in the past and Black Ops series. It was from the Cold War. But I don't know what's going on with this right now because this is up-to-date wars. So if it's Iraq, even though they're in a different outfit, it's going to be Taliban. The Africans in this will be South guerrillas. They had to change the thing to protect the game, but that's where it's pinpoint. I also been waiting for them to do it to a game, and they did it in Medal of Honor, one of the Medal of Honor games where you were tracking down Bin Laden. But when you got to that part in the story, you didn't get to raid his place he was. It was already being burnt down. In here, I think he may be one of the targets. Now, I could be wrong, but we're supposed to go after the hottest terrorist groups out there that are up to date. And he was one of the hottest terrorist groups out there, him and Saddam Hussein. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting if they were put in the game and we go after them. Be cool if you get a chance to bring them back in alive or dead. Because I think I would have brought Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein in alive and let Iraq trial them for all the acts they took against his own people. Let his own people trial him. That would have been my decision, but our men and women that did the job, I respect what they did because they had a job to do. And no, I'm not going to sit here and say I hate Iraq. I hate the stuff that takes place in Iraq because there's innocent people over there that get the stuff done to them. So I'm not going to say I hate Iraq. I don't hate Iraq. I hate the things that evil people do. The same with South Africa. I don't hate Africa. But the ones that are doing bloodshed, and I hate them people. I think everybody else does too. It's no disrespect, but they shouldn't be doing that. You know, every time I turn around, I do a stream. I do a special guest in my stream and dedicate the stream to that person. So tonight, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to dedicate my stream to me and Marine because we've been waiting for this game, and I've really been looking forward to the campaign mode. And I'm finally dedicating something to myself. It's pretty cool. I'm dedicating it to Marine too, because me and him do a lot of Call of Duty together. God, Marine, I think we did all the Call of Duties together, didn't we? We did, we started at World at War. We went to Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, rotated around. Let's see, what was it? We even did the other ones that nobody liked. Infinity Ward. There was a whole bunch of other stuff. Marine's the one actually got me into the Call of Duty series. He brings a PlayStation game over one day, regular PlayStation. He says, check this game out. And it was the first Call of Duty released to PlayStation. And I was like, what do you do? You hunt Nazis. And I was like, what? You're in Germany and you gotta sneak around, do this. It's a single player game. You snipe and all that stuff. So okay, I'll give it a shot. Because most of the time I was playing wrestling or something like that. And then I got into the Conflict series, Conflict Lovaterra and stuff like that, which was awesome. So me and Marine comes over, he brings this game over. It's called Call of Duty. No, it wasn't Call of Duty. It was what was that called, Marine? But it was one of the called, huh? No, it was a Call of Duty game, but it wasn't called Call of Duty. It was the first one was released for PlayStation. We're talking back in the day. You went up to the pier, they had the submarine there, you had to sneak in, they had snipers standing up on the top post and stuff like that, and as I was playing it, you were sitting there telling me watch the guys on top and stuff like that. And then you ended up giving me the game, and I ended up playing it for God knows how long, and I beat it, and I went back in, and you were like, well, when you came back over, you were like, you missed a bunch of stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? Did you pick up the intel? What intel? Intel for the next mission. It tells you where to go, you know, what you're looking forward to. If you don't pick it up, you don't find out. You just go on to the mission. And I had to go back and re-pick it up, and it was a lot of fun with that game. It might have been the Big Red one, but it was in the Call of Duty series. I think it was, actually, no, I think this was World War II. It was one of the first time that Call of Duty game hit the scene. The original for PlayStation. Yeah. See, everybody thinks World at War on PS4 was the first World at War game. Nah. There have been 14 different World at War games from PC to PlayStation, Xbox. Hell, Call of Duty dates back to the Nintendo. Activision released a war game on the Nintendo that was Call of Duty based. And then it came out for Super Nintendo. It was a war game, but it was like an arcade game. You just run around jumping, shooting, and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. So I'm going back beyond anybody's time for this generation. But if you look back how far Activision has actually taken these Call of Duty games, you will be amazed what you find out. And I can actually sit back and say, I played the ones for PC, I played the ones for the PS, PlayStation, all the consoles. Activision has been running around since Atari. Their company was back then. So I actually give props to Activision. They're a good company. They bring out good games. Just they need to get back into the gamers and worrying about making money. Rockstar is a great company, and I'm waiting for them to release a war game, because you play GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, that's amazing. Can you imagine Rockstar releasing a war game? Oh my god, that would be totally badass. There's a clue for you, Rockstar. Make a war game. As for Sony, you need to come in, because I know it's going to be about $10 this year. Days Gone. And you need to release the multiplayer for that game. Now, you talked about it before. I don't know. Marine owns it, but I don't think they added the multiplayer. Have they, Marine? Days Gone, the one where you play the biker and run from all the zombies. They didn't release the multiplayer in that, did they? Actually, according to Sony, they had them make a DLC that was a free add-on to create multiplayer for campaign mode, and it never got released. They were talking about that at the end of last year doing it. So what they need to do, because it's going to go about $10 this year on Black Friday, between $10 and $20, and Days Gone. Story mode is supposed to be really unique. I don't know. I haven't played it. There was no demo for it. Marine bought it so he could tell you if the game was worth getting or not. What's your opinion, Marine? You there? On Days Gone, what is your opinion? Was it worth getting or no? Okay. So I think it'd be cool if I could team up with Maureen and we just go kick some zombie butt, because we're zombie players anyway. Get a couple other people, throw like 7 people on your team. It'll be the first 7-player multiplayer co-op campaign mode. And Sony would be the first ones to do something no other company's ever done. Everybody's still on 4-player, but get into the next gen, man, because it's now they want. Infinity Ward stepped it up. You got 20 players on one team. That's awesome. Now they're coming out with 100 versus 100. So you'll have 100 people on each team. Of course, we ain't going to find out because connecting to online servers. I hate to go in and do this offline. I really don't want to do this offline. I've been sitting here for 32 minutes trying to connect online, talking to people and stuff like that, and this is getting to be very boring. So, I might end up having to stop my stream and restart it if I can't get online and just kick it in, restart another stream to where it starts from the beginning so I can watch the actual time limit to start campaign mode. Either way it goes, I am starting campaign mode on this tonight. That's the first thing I promised my viewers. I've even said that in my other streams. Unfortunately, the online connection may not connect until tomorrow because the game's actually supposed to be released tomorrow. But I think it's unfair for other countries to be getting the Call of Duty games before we do, and it's made here in the United States. Europe got Black Ops 4 3 days before we got it. That is not right. But like Maureen said earlier, when one game is released on a time and date, everybody should have to wait to that time and date, no exceptions. And there was people from Australia, I believe Germany, and Europe playing this earlier, and we couldn't access it. That's not right. Europe had it 3 days before we did with Black Ops. They were master besieged when we got on there, and I think that was like garbage, the way they did that. Everybody should get it at one time. No exceptions. I understand they're on a different date and time zone than we are, but the thing is, if we gotta wait to like the 25th, then they should have, if they're a day ahead, they should have to wait to the 26th. If they're 3 days, I don't know if that's possible, but some countries claim they're 3 days ahead of us. I don't know how that's possible. A day ahead of us is one thing. 3 days ahead of us? No. I didn't think about that, but that's possible too. But I'm gonna need to restart my stream because of the fact of I'm up to 34 minutes and 59 seconds, and I want the actual campaign mode to go off the stream. Give me the right time on it. So unfortunately right now at the moment, man, Marine's not going to be able to play together. You can, my stuff's undone check to see if you can play it offline. You can. So I think that's what the route. I'm gonna try a couple more times with this because I've been almost 36 minutes into it, and I have been running my streams just sitting here talking to people. If it doesn't connect soon, I'm just gonna go ahead and start campaign mode because I'm running behind. I was supposed to start at 9 o'clock, and that, so we can't play anything but campaign mode anyway. But offline's different than online. You may get more stuff online. And that's a problem too, because if I do it offline, then I'm gonna have to do it online. Just to make sure I didn't miss nothing. And Modern Warfare, I was looking at it earlier. Modern Warfare can be split screen, even with campaign mode. That's on their website. Split screen and co-op added into campaign. It starts off campaign mode, but they said it adds up. So I don't know if it's going to do us like we did Resident Evil 6, where we had to do like a certain part, and then all of a sudden the other person comes in. Because that's what they did to me and Marine on Resident Evil 6 when we were doing that stream. And we had to go through like the beginning, the intro of it to get into where we were actually to tag up with one another, which I actually got good ratings on Resident Evil 6, and people were giving me props for me and Marine. And Marine would be one I would choose to do the Resident Evil series with because he likes it, I like it. I'm not knocking anybody else. I would do it with Rip because he's a Resident Evil fanatic too. But they need to create a Resident Evil game where we can get 4 players up in that bad boy. Remake a couple Resident Evil games and just add like 4 players. That would be awesome. I had fun in Resident Evil 6. The story was good. The campaign mode was a lot of fun. Resident Evil 5 is another one I enjoyed. And either way it goes, all the way up to Bio, Resident Evil Biohazard, when they restarted, Umbrella Corporation was still floating around. And the weird thing is, all the main characters were killed off in Resident Evil's regular Resident Evil games. Alfred Whiskers. There's always somebody to step up and start running lab experiments, and then you always find out there's a new doctor that shows up from somewhere out of the clear blue sky, and he's working for Umbrella Corporation. So that's an idea. Come up with a 4 multiplayer campaign mode for Resident Evil. There you go. Bring my boy Alfred Whiskers back, because I really liked him. He was my favorite to play as in Resident Evil 5 when you did the survival mode. He's good with a gun, but he's better with his hands. It's like, what would happen if Chris Redfield and Leon goes head to head, and they did in Resident Evil 6? Who will win that fight? As for the fight, both of them have the same training, so I don't know. They both were put with STARS, which is the police department, special forces. And after the crap both these guys been through, I don't know who would be the better fighter, but I would like to actually see these two actually team up together and fight together instead of against one another. So it looks like, before I get sleepy, I'm trying to keep some kind of entertainment going on here by talking about different things. But we've been 40 minutes into trying to get on an online server, and I apologize for this because even Marine didn't think this was going to happen. And I think it's like messed up that they did this. So I guess, like he said, they released it a day ahead of time to get you to play campaign mode so you can get the story out of it. Because they really put in, according to them, from what I've seen on the interviews and stuff, they put a lot of time and effort into the campaign mode, which is the story mode. And usually I jump on multiplayer when I do a stream and show what the multiplayer is and talk about campaign mode, but I want to do campaign mode on this. So I don't think it's going to connect. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my stream, restart my stream. I'll be back, and then we'll just go offline and do campaign mode. I hate to do it like that, but this here, I'm not getting anywhere. There's no online server right now. Watch them. They released it at 9 o'clock, and they'll release the server mode at 12 a.m. Server to go live. Because it's a midnight release. At GameStop, they're actually doing a midnight release on this. So that means from 9 to 11. That'd be 2 hours. And once you start campaign mode, you don't want to stop. You want to go through it. So bear with me, and unless it connects, I don't know. It's like every time I click it, it takes longer and longer. And one of these times, you're going to click it and it's going to work. I'll be smoked all my freaking vape out of this container time I get online. I'll be ready for a fill up. This game is sponsored by the House of Freaks. And Mountain Dew. Due to the dew. I'm actually, because I'm sitting here drinking Mountain Dew. That's what I'm doing. So I held the can up. Alright, so I need to restart my stream. I'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and just start offline. I was looking forward to doing this with Marine, I really was, and he was looking forward. Oh, I was looking forward to doing Spec Ops with you, and then we could throw Sassy and them in there. But I'm gonna make a return in a few moments to start campaign mode because we can't connect online, and I think it kind of sucks. I've done check for updates and everything, and it gave me an update for online server. They actually came through when the game started. So it don't make no sense to give you the update for the online server and the game won't start. I've been almost 45 minutes into the stream and still no online play. I apologize for this. There's nothing I can do about it. That's not on my internet provider. It's on the actual server. So they gave it to us 9 o'clock, so we can access the game. The problem is, online, you cannot access online. They're, like I said, midnight release on my time, which is 3 hours behind ripping them, and in other places it's hours behind. But it's midnight Eastern Standard Time is when this game is actually going to be released for the 25th. And I would not want to stand in line for this at Walmart and GameStop, because you talking about a 3-hour wait. This thing sold billions of dollars. It's a sellout. They did say if you want to play offline, they're going to put bots on the game for multiplayer. You can play against bots, what they did in Black Ops 4 and all their other Call of Duty games. I think that'll be interesting, but I'm having a problem with connecting to the server right now. And like I said, I'm sorry about this. We've been in 46 minutes and something into the time, and it's 9:55, and this thing was released at 9 p.m. It's just like messed up. Alright, so let me go ahead and do that. I have no choice to do it like this, and I'll be right back